remember this?
A one-off cash grant of $200,000 to every household in Guyana.
Then 1 week later, realizing the short-sightedness of it, changed it, but to an even worse plan.
A one-off cash grant of $100,000 to every citizen of Guyana 18 years and above as of the first.
There are many problems with this idea, one being the possible negative impact on inflation, which was previously talked about. Click on the link on the top right for that report. Imagine this proposal as a quick fix, like a shot of something addictive. Sure, it feels great at first, like the instant relief a drug addict might feel. But when the effect fades, it leaves the user feeling even worse than before, much like the hangover an alcoholic would experience. But here, that addict isn't an individual. It's the country as a whole. And so, what happens when the country eventually comes down from this high? After a temporary boost from a $100,000 influx, like an intense but short-lived experience, the crash is bound to follow. And the impact? Well, the workforce could be hit the hardest. Peter Singh from The Reporter explains how this proposal might backfire, leading to long-term consequences for the economy and the workforce.
All right, let's talk about work, shall we? Because here's the thing. Distributing a cash grant to every adult, no strings attached, could unintentionally discourage people from seeking employment, and that, my friends, could lead to reduced workforce participation and productivity losses. Think of it like this. If you suddenly found yourself with an extra $100,000 in your bank account, wouldn't you be tempted to take a little break from the daily grind? Now, there's nothing wrong with a little relaxation and self-improvement. But when a significant portion of the population decides to hang up their work boots simultaneously, it can have a real impact on the economy. Businesses might struggle to find workers, production could slow down, and the overall economic engine might sputter a bit. Of course, not everyone who receives this cash grant is going to quit their job and buy a one-way ticket to Margaritaville. But even a small decrease in workforce participation can have ripple effects throughout the economy.
The other possible adverse effect of this proposal is income inequality. Peter Singh explains.
Income inequality. Because here's the thing about cash grants, folks. While they're often touted as a way to help everyone, they can sometimes end up exacerbating the very problem they're trying to solve. It's a paradox that many don't see coming. Think of it like this. Imagine you have two people, let's call them Ashley and Bob. They live in the same city but lead very different lives. Ashley is a high-flying CEO raking in a 7-figure salary while Bob is a struggling artist barely scraping by. Their financial situations couldn't be more different. Now, if you give both Ashley and Bob a $100,000 cash grant, what do you think happens? It seems like a generous gesture, but the outcomes are quite telling. Ashley, being the savvy investor that she is, probably stashes that money away in a high-yield savings account or invests it in the stock market. She knows how to make her money work for her. Bob, on the other hand, uses his grant to pay off some bills, buy groceries, and maybe fix that leaky roof that's been plaguing him for months. His immediate needs take precedence. The result? Ashley's wealth increases while Bob's stays relatively the same. The gap between them widens, highlighting the systemic issues at play. This is the crux of the problem with one-size-fits-all solutions in a world of diverse financial realities. Let's be honest, folks, there's always a political angle. And when it comes to handing out large sums of money, especially in the run-up to an election, well, let's just say it's hard to ignore the elephant in the room wearing a Vote For Me t-shirt. Because here's the thing. Distributing cash, grants close to an election can look a lot like, well, vote buying. Now, I'm not saying that this is necessarily the intention behind this particular cash grant program, but it's not a good look, is it? And perception, as they say, is reality. When citizens start to believe that their government is using public funds to influence their vote, it erodes trust in the political process. And that's a dangerous road to go down.